Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be telling you guys how to care for and keep Porcellio Laevis dairy cows, or any more for that matter. First of all, we're going to need an enclosure. I use this 6-quart Sterilite bin with positive locks. You don't need the positive locks, it's not like a snake, they're not going to get out. But it is nice to have those positive locks. For substrate, I like to use a mix of around 70% eco-earth, 20% sphagnum moss, and around 10% crumpled up leaf litter. So, for decorations, they're not really going to care whether it looks nice or not. They're just going to care if they're comfortable with it. So, you should have like a sphagnum moss patch or something in the back of the enclosure or just a smaller area of the enclosure for their humidity station. I like to call it the hydration station. Because these guys do have, I'm pretty sure it's gills that they have to have moist and able to breathe. We'll have moisture for them to breathe. And you're going to want to have some leaf litter for them to munch on. These are detrivores, meaning they eat dead and decaying animal and plant matter. You're also going to want some soft wood. I like to use cork rounds or cork bark, which is sold in pretty much every pet store. I'll post a link to all the stuff that I use in the description down below. Temperature, it's pretty easy. They like to have around from 65 all the way up to 80 degrees. Pretty much just normal room temperature for most humans like me. I find they do breed a lot more in temperatures from 70 or even 75 to 80 degrees. They're quite small, but large for isopods. These guys can get up to 2 or even 2.5 centimeters long. My largest specimen is 2.7 centimeters long, or just 3 if I round up, because why not? That is from the little spikes, forgot what they're called, at the end of their body. They're not sharp or anything, to their face. We exclude the length of their antennae because they can bring them closer to their body. Actually, I don't really know. But for their humidity or day-to-day scheduling for care, I usually just spray their sphagnum moss till it's damp but not wet. You want it to be like slightly damp but not damp enough that if you squeeze out the sphagnum moss, it shouldn't be dripping. It should just be slightly damp. So that's not actually too difficult. You'll figure it out in like a few days how moist it should be. And you're also going to want to have some crushed up eggshell or calcium powder or something without D3 for them to eat, because they are highly calcified. So they need to have some calcium and able to have good sheds or molts, as well as be healthy. Another thing about these guys is that they can burrow. I find this species of Porcellio Laevis, this Porcellio Laevis species, does not burrow as much as a lot of other species, although they can burrow. I find their young burrow more than the adults, and it's pretty neat. There's quite a few fun looking morphs to choose from, such as dairy cows, which I have dairy cows, orange, black, white, and milkback. There is a lot more than just that, I'll put them up on the screen right now. You can pause if you want to read them all. Isopods in general are usually pretty cheap, except for those duckies. That's ridiculous. But you can get around 10 of these for the price of one rubber ducky, which I got my Porcellio Laevis dairy cows for around $2 each, which is not a bad deal. It's pretty good, actually. I recommend feeding them dried vegetables such as carrots, sweet potato, and zucchini, stuff like that. You can also use Repashy supplements such as grub pie. I sprinkle my isopod food with grub pie usually every other time that I feed. They do make specialized isopod foods such as where is it? Oh yeah, iso chow or isopod chow, supreme isopod chow from Supreme Gecko. Link to that below the description, as well as morning wood from Repashy. I want to try that stuff out, but I haven't gotten a chance. But yeah, there's quite a few isopod specialized foods. One thing to know before getting them, it certainly caught me by surprise, was how much they reproduce. Just one reproduction cycle, or whatever it's called, for me at least, produced around 20 babies, or mankai, pretty sure that's how you pronounce it. And I have a lot now, after like, I think 3 or 4 months. And these dudes actually grow pretty quickly, I find. Some pros include their large size, which is better for people who want to observe and hold them. They're bright and colorful and pretty stunning morphs and mutations that they have, such as dairy cows, which I have, as well as the orange variety. I find the orange variety quite stunning, actually. Another pro is that they're quite small and easy to care for. Well, small enclosure and easy to care for. So they don't take up too much space. One last pro that I have, a lot of people are quite comfortable around them. Unlike spiders or snakes, I get why some people might be afraid of them for spiders and snakes. These dudes, somebody might think they're kind of gross, which I completely respect, but you can see them in the wild. Some cons I have about these guys is that they breed a lot, which some people might think that's a pro, but for me it's kind of a con because at some point I'm gonna have to split this colony or, give some away or sell some. But yeah, it's not the worst con. Another con is that it's easy to have mold growth, which a pretty easy fix for this is adding in springtails, and or a rock or something, like half buried, for you to put the food on, or a dry place for the food to be. I quite enjoyed making this care guide for you guys. Hope you enjoyed it. I certainly did. Liked hanging out with these dudes and filming them. So, yeah, thanks for watching. See you next time.